Guys, we were beat today. We finally got a job that defeated us, and I'm annoyed, like, but it is what it is. I'm just gonna have to learn from it. So today's job, you'll see in a minute, I had to cut down 4 tree stumps to the ground level. Basically, I got 3 down. The last one beat me. The chainsaw just wouldn't go through it. It just gave up. It blunted so many times. I went through a good few chains and stuff, and I know you can sharpen them and all, but like, just the amount of time that you'd spend doing that, I just ended up bringing a couple of chains with me, like, got through them all, busted them all, and couldn't do the full job. Apologised to him, I just had to humble myself, and I says to him, look, I'm really sorry, I've done everything in my power to get these all down for you. I've done 3 of them, and I says, look, just leave it at that. If you want to pay me, pay me. But I didn't do the full job, so I'll just leave it up to you. And he was a nice man. He did end up giving me a bit of cash, not everything obviously, and I wasn't expecting that, but he's just gonna have to look at alternatives. I know they're stump grinding and all, and they're more like that's more ideal and stuff, but he wanted somebody to come in with a chainsaw and take them down as far as possible. But done what we could. We were beat, is what it is. Gonna learn from it, and yeah, here's the job now. So here we go, guys. I'm in Birmingham. Here's the stumps. The guy had to go with this one. This is the first one. And then there's the second one here. And I started with this one. Do you know what? Like, looking at this at the camera, it seems like nothing, honestly. And I thought the same when he showed me it. I was like, alright, that'll be grand. Yeah, I'll get through that, no problem. And you know what? See, if my chainsaw stayed sharp, I would have got through the whole thing, honestly. But problems happen, and this is what the series is all about. I have to showcase my mistakes as well as my successes. But look at that, like, it's going through it absolutely grand there. Now, if I had just kept that pace up and took out wedge by wedge on each of these stumps, I would have flew through that, and it wouldn't have took me all day. But sure, why would it be easy? You would have no fun then. There's only fun in a challenge, apparently. But yeah, so here we go. That's me getting started, like, and I was just going back and forth between the chainsaw and this little hatchet, and I had a couple of hammers and stuff, and I had a crowbar to wedge things out. I was just using what gear I had. But I was chuffed to bits with this chainsaw in terms of like power. It's not the best still. Obviously, it's at the bottom range, this wee one that I got a couple of weeks ago. It's cheap, and the only thing that let me down was the chains. It wasn't actually the power of the saw. It's just one of those things. But the wee hatchet came in handy, and I swear that was less than a tenner. And there were some parts of these stumps that the chainsaw couldn't get through, and the hatchet took it out, honestly. A lot of work, I'll not lie. A lot of graft to get some of the bits out with the hatchet, but a lot of the times it was better than me going through more dirt with the chainsaw. There was just awkward angles and stuff, that were there, and if I took those angles with the chainsaw, I just would have went straight into soil. So I've done my best to not use the chainsaw in the dirty areas as much as possible, but there was just some cuts that were unavoidable. But so I'm happy with all my wee tools. Like, I got use out of most things, and the crowbar came in really handy too, which I wasn't expecting. But I actually, whenever I went out to get more chainsaw oil and stuff and chains from the van, I went in to grab the crowbar, and the 2 fucking van doors closed on me, and then I thought that was it, but I forgot there's a wee fucking latch, isn't there? There's a wee latch you can pull from the inside. It took me a minute to realise that. I thought I was going to have to call the customer, but like, I've locked myself in the van. Can't cut your stumps either, mate. Will you come and rescue me? But he was nice. Like, he came out with biscuits and coffee and stuff, and he says he understood. Like, he had to go at the stumps himself, and he couldn't do it. So he was more than understanding. But this was the final stump that I had managed to do a little bit too here. And at this point, there was nothing really happening with my chainsaw at all. I was just running on pure hope, and I had to use all the tools at my disposal, like, trying to avoid using the chainsaw as much as possible, getting in with a handsaw, getting in with a hatchet, crowbar, and just using all my strength to wedge things out. Bit of a mad one. I am fucked. I'm exhausted, mate, and this, it doesn't look like a lot of work, But see just the frustration of putting in so much effort and not much happening. It's one of them ones, tires you out. You know, I'd rather go in there and take on like a massive garden clearance than do that, because that's just you know, obviously somebody with the right gear, somebody who's been doing this for a while and has all the right stuff would make short work of it. But doing it with the tools that I have and at the stage that I am at in this, you know, in this business at the beginner stage, it was graft. But I'm glad that I went and done it, and now I know how much, you know, difficulty stumps are going to be. I'll know how to price things better. I still got a full day's wage, you know, even though I didn't get the full payment. He was very nice, you know, he was very understanding about that, and I really appreciate that from him. But yeah, that's how far we got down there. So there's the 3. We brought 3 down to ground level. That one's a bit of a mess. But yeah, that last big fucker defeated me.